Bring the action.
Rock and roll, everybody let's lose control. All the bottom, we let it go. Going fast, we ain't going slow. No, no.
Okay, so welcome back to La Hora de Lala. Para todos los que están viendo el programa y nomás se entienden en español, este segmento lo vamos a tener que hacer en inglés. Estamos aquí with attorney
Edward Pacheco.
Woo, Mr. I've been saying Edward William Pacheco.
Claro.
Yes, claro.
A veces voy a hablar español, a veces English, okay?
So that's a good thing that you're bringing it up. We're not doing it in English because he doesn't speak Spanish. So if you're in need of a lawyer or anything, he speaks good Spanish. He understands it well. So if you need a consultation, you have a case or something, they could come and see you, right, mister?
Absolutely. Absolutamente.
Absolutamente. And you know what's so amazing about my lawyer? He's down the street from the studio right here. He's literally like 2 blocks, huh, mister?
About 2.5 blocks.
About 2.5 blocks. So, can we give everybody your office number just in case before we start talking?
Sure, why not?
So, in case you are interested, write down the number. It's 323
727
7183.
Right.
32, I call it so much, I remember it now. 323-727-8173, right?
No, well, that's close enough.
Oh, what was it?
That's close enough.
No, what was it?
I don't know. You're giving
727?
your cell number?
No, yours. 727?
No, my cell number, I don't.
No, not your cell, your office.
727-7183.
Yeah, okay, awesome.
Okay.
So, mister, tell us how many years do you have of experience being a lawyer?
I've been practicing law for a little over 35 years.
Wow, 35 years of cases after cases.
Well, that's long before you were even born, I think.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about the system and the case system, like back in the days and now. What's like the main difference that you have experienced?
Well, the main difference is you can see when you go to court, there's not a bunch of people out in the hallways. When I started in the early 70s or late 70s, there were women with their baby buggies and holding 1 or 2 kids by the hand, and the husbands were inside behind the bars. And the favorite thing in those days were these gentlemen liked to slap their wives and girlfriends around. And I guess, it happens so often that the courts were pretty much full.
Wow.
And there was a lot of drug traffic, PCP, marijuana.
Back in those days.
In those days, LSD. And there was a lot of people in the hallways all the time because of the amount of drug cases. Now, there's not so many drug cases.
And why do you think that's been?
That's because
People are getting actual real jobs now, or?
well, they're not using like heroin and LSD and stuff like that, and they're not going to prison for it anymore. The laws changed where for a usage or even a small bit of narcotraffic, you don't go to prison. You can serve your time in the local county jail, and usually the sentences are a lot more lenient now than they were in those days. But that brings us up to date. The favorite crime in East Los Angeles is domestic violence.
And that's for both, right? For men and women. Like men hitting the woman, and now the woman is hitting the man, and is also even getting charged and going into jail, right?
That's right. In the old days, the woman had to press charges for them to hold the guy. But now, the laws changed a few years ago. The woman may say, hey, I want my husband back here. I have children to support. I can't pay the rent. What am I going to do? We can't eat. My husband's in jail. And of course, the police say, well, that's too bad.
They can't do anything about it. How long do you go to jail, or how serious is a case for you? And that's another thing that I want to clear up. Like, people don't understand that just one little slap, right? Just one slap, the first time, the only time, you go to jail, right?
Up to,
it's like serious. For how long?
It could be a long time. The most gross one was where a man shot his wife in the reproductive organs, and he was looking at a sentence of prison for 7 years. That was one form of domestic violence.
Only 7 years for shooting her in her area? That seems like a little bit, because that was a shooting.
Well, that particular gentleman said I wasn't doing a darn thing for him, and he fired me. Okay.
Wow.
He got another attorney, and I think he's serving 35 years to life now.
That's what he gets. And you know what? That's great that you bring that up, because people need to understand that when you hire a lawyer, you're almost guaranteed, right, to have a better sentence if your case doesn't get dismissed. You have a better chance of getting less years, a better sentence, than if you have a public defender don't fight a case, right?
Well, if you lay down and let them walk on you, they will. Okay. As attorneys, a lot of the attorneys that have been fighting cases for a number of years, they're pretty well known in the courts, and in the prosecutors know who they are, the other attorneys know who they are, and they know that they're going to convict this guy. They're going to have to go to trial, or they're going to have to work for it, and they don't want to do that.
The judge and everybody already has the mindset of what's going to happen, because they already seen that lawyer in the courtroom. So there's kind of like a slack for it. So you see, Edward Pacheco right here, 37 years. I'm pretty sure all these courts know him. So you're going to do good if you come and hire him. Mister, we kind of have to go because we're running out of time. What are the main tips on law that we want to tell people that are very useful for them to know and understand when they pick up a case or they get a ticket or something?
One of the most important things to keep in mind is that even a small misdemeanor, like slapping your wife or going to jail for some like tickets or something, if you don't have your papers in order, you are very likely be facing a deportation case. And that is, I get a lot of clients, they say, I'm not worried about the DUI, I'm not worried about the 6 months in jail, I don't want to get deported. Now, we're running out of time, but I will tell you that my office specializes in canceling these deportations. So do not voluntarily deport yourself, because you will regret it. Okay, go see a lawyer, any lawyer.
Any lawyer. So people that don't have papers, any kind of case you pick up, any kind of case, they're going to use it against you to deport you, right?
That's
especially
right.
If you don't have a lawyer, you're more than likely not going to get yourself out of it. And the only place I'm going to be able to visit you is in TJ. So go see a lawyer and get a consultation and get your case going, because you do have hope, especially if you have a family, you have a job, business, everything. You want to make sure you make that sacrifice and invest a little bit in a lawyer that can actually change your life, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, mister, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
This is Edward William Pacheco. You can look him up. His information will come up on Google if you find him. He's right here in Los Angeles area. His number again is 323-727-7183. Go get a free consultation. He'll let you know what he can do for you. And then from there, you could decide if you want to give him the case or not. But I can tell you from personal experience, he is my personal lawyer, and he is great and awesome, and I have gotten away with some crazy stuff. But let's do the right thing. Let's keep it legal. Let's do the right things, because it's the right thing to do. Let's keep ourselves safe, our community, our world, everybody. So thank you again, mi gente bonita. Ahorita regresamos en La Hora de Lala.
Thank you very much.
What you gonna do? Go get a lawyer. That's what you should do.